I thought that's the,
How you gonna change the things around you? Oh, what you gonna love inside of you? Oh, when you gonna hear his revelation? Oh, oh, let it move inside of you. Life ain't no.
Welcome, beautiful souls, to Infinite Perspectives with your host, Michelle Diamond, and of course, the luminous Linda Boston. I am Michelle Diamond and CEO of Next Level Promotions, PR for the incomparable Linda Boston, and co founder and co host of Infinite Perspectives. Linda?
And I am Linda Boston, performing, literary, and teaching artist, always telling you that you are the change that you seek.
Absolutely. Infinite Perspectives is proudly brought to you by Peer, Next Level Promotion, Carlotta Cole the Brand, Moniker Enterprises, and Unlimited Networks Property Management. Tonight's conversation is about purpose, protection, health, community, and the unstoppable force behind a mission that's changing lives across the diaspora. Our special guest tonight is Jerome Chambers, a former Justice of the Peace in Jamaica, a seasoned senior banker in the New England area, a community servant with the West Indies Social Club of Hartford, and an all star REIGN ambassador dedicated to advancing women's wellness. Jerome, welcome to Infinite Perspectives.
okay, thank you, Linda and Michelle, for inviting me here. It's indeed an honor to join you here this evening. And I hope, with God's help, we can get through this and really touch somebody's life.
Yes,
Absolutely.
that's the bottom line. Jerome,
Yes.
let's start at the beginning. If you would tell our listeners about your journey. And I know that uh, discipline has been the foundation of what you've done, you know, so we can learn so much from you tonight. Tell our listeners about Jamaica to Hartford and how your career in service and banking shaped the man that you are today.
Okay, fine. So, briefly, as you said, the foundation was my involvement in this type of industry, wellness industry. Uh, Not telling my age, but roughly about over 20 years ago, where I got introduced to a wellness industry, the first one, and it's ignited my passion. And they talk about the fire in the belly. So, I found that I was aspiring in that. Actually, I achieved a lot of levels in those industries, about two, three. Yeah. I've been about three of them prior to this one, and that also gave me the confidence banking world in Jamaica too, because my last position was a supervisor for the investment arm of that bank, and it really motivates you. The motivational you get from these type of industry is really inspiring. It's what you do with it when you get it, and it gives you that growth pattern in terms of really spiraling. And as I said, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And I try to, do my best in all of that. It comes forward to 2017 when, we choose to come to the US. My whole family, my wife and two children, we all came up together. And prior to that, before leaving, I was in another industry, which was a security industry, which is security sales. Banker, friends, and I didn't know what I was going to do, but the general manager took me under his wings and, you know, really trained me. And funny enough, just the last quarter before I, transitioned to the US, I actually outdo him as a general manager in sales of bringing in almost a million in net profit for his business. That's so much so they were going to train me to be the sales manager for his industry, and they were disappointed that I had to come away and even offered to say, if you come back, you can come back to us, which is Jamaica. But I transitioned here, came in 2017 January. Um, got the job at me the same year. Person said, "What? You just came up with that?" I just went and, as I said, to myself and tell them what I can do for the bank in terms of the bottom line, and the rest is history. I've moved up, in the
It's
rank part
it's
time. I'm at a full time position part time at that bank too. So, I just what I tell people, I just let my result do the talking. A,
it,
a good a good friend of mine, associate at the bank too. She called me Jerry the seller. Yeah, and it's where my passion is. Where this is concerned in terms of transitioning to, this empowerment. I see where I can go with it.
Mhm. Yes, to have those doors still open to you all of your life is a wonderful gift from the creator to you,
Yes.
It's beautiful. You've held role integrity and public duty.
Yes.
What inspired you to add REIGN to your mission?
Okay. Funny enough, the same year 2017, a friend of mine, Wayne Hall, and we go back from Jamaica. We have done so much in terms of selling things. Even I don't know if you remember in Jamaica, Michelle, where you had the neighborhood watch. We used to go around with the neighborhood watch that time with the police to present to the neighborhood watch, and we used to have the ear on. So Wayne and I will go and present that after the police speak to the people to say, hey, this is a security feature. If you see something is happening, somebody, you know, mysteriously in the era, you can press the ear on and alert your neighbor and everything. So we were selling that like hot bread. During the World Cup time of Jamaica qualifying, we were doing that. So moved to Hartford. Wayne reached out to me about it and said, Jerome, I have something here that I know you're going to be interested in. I said, Wayne, give me some time. Call me back 6 months time. And so say, so done. He called me back. I said, okay, Wayne, if this works for my daughter, Jade, I'll get it for her. Wayne laughed at me and said, Jerome, that's not going to happen. I know you. Once it worked for her, you're going to want to share it with others. And so say, so done, we started in the background there. We were one of the foundation members for the company. The company is going to be the 70-year anniversary is next year, but we started 7 years on the ground, officially. So I've been there, so when I heard my daughter spoke of it on, we used to have a program called Code Red, and that was a live program. And I heard her speak of what her testimonial. I was moved to tears because I didn't know this was happening to her because, we used to go out to work and come back and realize she's locked up in her room and wondering what happened. And it's that time of the month, and all of that. So using the product, I see that, that change I've seen. Yeah. And that inspired me to really continue with it, and when we started, it's us men were doing it, that ladies were, snuffing at it to say, hey, why you men? It was dominated by men.
Mhm.
Yeah, when the company started out, we were just there because we realized what. And let me put it this way too: we realized that we men have PMS too. You know what PMS mean for men? Pack
Mm.
my suitcase. Pack my suitcase because that time of the month, you don't want, yeah, you ladies don't want us to be around, etc. And it was norm for me because back in Jamaica, I used to have to stop at the supermarket. I get a car, stop at the supermarket, pick up this one for me to the shelf. That was in Ligani, Iowa. I used to go to the shelf and I have to call a lady and say, come here. I was told to pick up so and so. Show me which one. The lady comes smiling and said, this one. I go to the cashier, proudly take it out because what? I want a piece in the house, yeah. So I just take it home and everything proudly, yeah. And
Yeah.
that sort of transition to, as I said, with my daughter and seeing what happened, and I went further with it, got the training, and the company is quite supportive, the team, and I must, at this point acknowledge Mr. Demon Crump, the CEO, his wife, the COO, Kiana Crump, and his whole family, his daughters and his son, everybody involved in it right there in Atlanta, and they're really helpful. I can pick up the phone and call, and they move mountains for you. That's the basic thing. Yeah.
That's
Congratulations on your
beautiful.
7 years too. That's a great
Yes.
feat. Mhm.
So let me publicly thank Mr. Wayne Hall. I hope he's on, for really not
Yeah.
giving up on me. Yeah.
Yep. You said a mouthful, and definitely, commendable for the 7 year anniversary, as Linda stated. And with everything you stated about support, support is such a valuable thing, especially when you're in a community that's not trying, but actually putting in the work to help others across nations. And, it's truly commendable with what the company is doing. So understanding the REIGN movement, right? For those who may not know what REIGN is or who may be new to REIGN, what makes this sanitary napkin so different from what people see on store shelves?
Okay. One for one, the absorption level of it, the material that is in it, in terms of the absorption, what it does is not, you're not sitting in that wet. It pulls away from it. And what I've got to do is even to support that synopsis, I have here 250 milliliter of water, and I
Mm.
have the pad out already to just do the wet and dry while we talk.
Mhm.
And we call it the napkin test. So what I'll do is put a napkin on it to show, if the napkin comes up dry or wet, right? So
Oh.
can you see it? I'm
Mhm.
pouring
Yeah,
the
I
water
can
on
see
it.
you doing it now. Yes. Can you
Yeah,
see
yeah.
Linda?
Yeah. Yeah, you can lift it a
All
little
right.
bit.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you lift it a little
more.
higher?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
That's
Perfect.
good.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, and this is just the what we call the normal part for it. Okay.
Mhm.
And yeah. So I'm pouring all the water in it. I'm just
Really?
making sure it soaks in. So while
Yes.
it soaks in, while we talk, right? And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'll show you at the end of it because this is what we talk about, the absorption. Also, we have an antibacterial strip in it, right? Which
Mhm.
also helps in terms of what we call, some people say it's like a air condition. You don't feel that warmth, especially in the summer and everything.
Mhm.
This antibacterial strip, helps in terms of it. I mean, I will give the scientific name is really graphene, but the point is that it's antibacterial, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
People can research if they want to, but that's what we say. It's an antibacterial strip, and you can actually get the result from that. Also, most of it is leak guard, and that's another thing too. And we have
Mm.
various ones, which we have here. One of the liners, which is this one, right?
Okay.
Which is on our liners with wings. This is another liner, right? Because we have heard of persons just want to use the liners when they no longer use the pads, right? And also you have right here you have this is let's change the color of the, this is a moderate or day pad,
Mhm.
right? Um, we have the overnight
Overnight. Yeah.
or heavy flow, right?
Mhm.
We have the heavy flow. We have the super heavy flow, which is heavy, which is even longer. And, this was specially made for, the African descent ladies, right? And
Okay.
yeah, so all of them, deals with, especially this liner, also have added absorption on it for persons who, with incontinence, mean that you're past that stage and you're trouble with incontinence or you're working long hours, etc. So this have an additional absorption on it, right? And let me just finish with the water here.
So while you're doing that and you're
Yes,
pretty much sort of sifting through some of the questions that I had in regards to the technology, the graphene, the
yeah.
comfort, the absorbency, that tends to surprise a lot of people. Can you break down why this matters for women's health?
Okay, so also in terms of that too, what it does, instead of you sitting in the wet and it goes back, it pulls everything from the body. Um, there are two stories. I was hoping to get a video of one of the persons in Jamaica where these two persons they were distributors and they were using the products on their own. And one was trying to conceive, right? And I mean, we don't make any claim. These are stories that they say. We're not saying it's going to happen for everybody. So we do not make any claims at all. I'm just sharing the story that they said. And I even asked the person again, and she said, "Yes, Jerome, that's the only other thing I did." I said, "Okay, the company not behind you with that. You're the one who said it. This was the only difference you did." And they have actually used the product over a time period, say, over a year or so on. And one of the persons who were trying to conceive, know she could conceive, and then the other one didn't expect her to, for her to conceive. I know she has two lovely children, which is a wide gap. Her youngest is 20 something before, and these other two are, I think, is 4 and 6, a boy and a girl. So, we're talking about bacteria. Remember, I say it's antibacterial. So, a lot can happen there. And again, the difference with ours too, you all know about TSS and
Hmm.
what TSS mean, right? And for those
Right.
who don't know, because I've asked ladies and some don't know,
Yes.
toxic shock syndrome.
Mhm.
And
Toxicity.
it really primarily happens from what is the sanitary napkin it happens to, not just the other thing that you put up inside of you, right?
Yes.
It
Yeah.
happens from this was what I learned from a young lady too, who said no, she was studying it, and it happens from sanitary napkins because of what it's made from. So anybody can Google and see what it's made from. Also, it's a requirement now by law for them to state what the pads contain inside.
Correct.
We did it before even that time where we put whatever it is in it, the explanation and everything, right? We didn't wait for the FDA to tell us to do so, right? And that warning should be on it about TSA and everything. If it's not there, there should be, right? And state by state, these are becoming necessary because also there's no tax in a lot of states. I know Atlanta is not there yet, but there are a couple of them to
Mhm.
225, 2025, there's no tax because the need is there. But again, the difference with us, I know what we have, and we have something of value in terms of that. One of my customers, she was also part of that testimony, and she said, with rain, a little go a far away, mean that you don't have to use so much in it. Yeah. And let me just put a parallel to it too with my mechanic, my first car. He said to me, Jerome, I can put on a non-genuine part, but 6 months time you're gonna come back for me to change that part. Spend the money to put on the genuine part. Then if you come back to me, come back to do it for something else. So it's the same with us. We have the Rolls Royce, I would say, of sanitary pads. And there's a lot going out too. I don't know if you guys have seen the video with the young ladies holding up the pads to the light, the conventional one, and seeing the stuff in it, the bacteria and everything. Open a fresh new one, not to scare anybody, but it's going around. We have done the same video and hold up ours. We have that video where you can look and see there's nothing in there more than you see in the strip. The dye and everything that is in those stuff. Just Google it for yourself and look at the back of the sanitary pads and the others to see what is there. I just came from the supermarket. I was looking at one, so I said, "Hey, this is true. All these chemicals you don't even know what to call their name. Yeah, the
Correct.
blue dye and everything. So
Hmm.
it's crazy. Yeah, and my daughter won't go without for sure as long as she need them. Yeah, and she'll
That's good.
use them. I hope I answered your question, but
You
you
did.
feel passion, and I said it's my passion has met its purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I say with this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I appreciate that because it's so true. There's so many things that we have to be mindful of when we're shopping for anything these days. Doesn't matter whether it's food or things that we're putting on the exterior of our bodies, it's all relevant, especially when it comes to chemicals, because of course our skin is alive and we have pores and it soaks it all in. So I'm grateful for that. And before we move on, I know Linda has a question. Mr. Donnie Howard, he is definitely on. I have his comment up. He said, "Thank you, Mr. Chambers, for your continued service to educate and inform our queens that suffering is a choice and rain is the answer." Very
Mhm.
beautiful. And we
That's my
also have
associate. That's my associate. Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
And then we have Jill Ann Murray, who will be joining us in a few. She said they are amazing pads. Thank you,
Yeah.
Jill Ann. And we look forward to speaking with you shortly.
We've had guests on before that have talked about the importance of information for Black, Brown, and Caribbean communities. Um, you're extremely passionate about this movement. I can feel it. I can hear it. Why is menstrual health education so important, especially for Black, Brown, and Caribbean communities?
Mm, very good
So
question.
there is a global issue that is the awareness is being spread, not just us. There are others out there who's doing the same. And if I permitted, I'm just gonna read from it. It's a global issue, and it's called period poverty. Right?
Mm,
Period poverty is the fact that the lack of affordable access to menstrual products, sanitation facilities, and menstrual health education, as you point out to that,
mhm,
forcing people to use inadequate alternatives, leading to health risk. You understand? TSS, cervical cancer, all of those things, right? The irritation that you have from, okay, fine. I won't go into it because I know OBGYN, right?
yes.
Uh, the stigma, social isolation, and missed school and work. You understand me? So the global push for this awareness to be there and the proper ones to be worn because you don't want them to be end up still missing work because of health reasons.
Mhm.
Yeah. So the company has what we call justice for my jewel. The jewel is the female. Yeah. And this is the way we get the justice for them by offering these alternatives. Yes. And
Mhm.
it's just an option. We don't force anybody to get it. We just make you aware. You make the choice. Yes. And
Yeah.
what I've done too is if I should make, in terms of different collaboration to get it out there.
Well, this is a tender subject for so many people. I think, men find it as a tender subject, women find it as a tender subject, but we're talking about nature. We're talking about reality. We're talking about what is really part of existence, and we have to cohabitate. We have to cohabitate, and you want to definitely cohabitate with multiple genders in your household for sure. So, when we talk about filling a gap and making sure that we know why rain is here, what gap was rain created to fill? I think you
Mm.
shared it, but I'd like for you to clarify it.
So yeah, as I said, it's terms of where, like my brother there, Dunning, where we men step up to the plate
Yes.
and know that. This is what we want our queen and princesses to use. Yes. And to really do our research and see what's out there and why rain is the option they should be choosing in terms of all of that comfort. To from the testimonials I've been getting, you know, where it's something the menstrual is something that God ordained for ladies to really get rid of that waste out the body and not keep it inside because of all the other effects that happen. So here's to fill that gap in terms of an option to get rid of those stuff in terms of putting it from the body and really, getting rid of that and offering something what you call tangible, then I would say, so to speak, where traveling with it. I actually have one open here to show you how it looks protective in terms of that too. Most ladies, when they carry it in the bag, and you see they pull out their stuff after flashing it, it's
Mhm.
come sealed,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
You understand? Look,
Mhm.
it's easy to carry. There's no dust and everything in it. I
Mhm.
actually got these from my daughter. I asked her to give me some so I don't have to open it anymore, right? So this is all sealed in it, nice plastic there and everything. So again, it's all of that too. You don't have the dirt and everything or the cookie crumbs that you carry in the bag.
Mhm.
Michelle, don't laugh because I know that if you have cookie crumbs in your bag too and everything, but
Yeah.
that goes in it, yeah. So you shake it out. That no,
Yeah.
rain fill the gaps by offering you something that is more sanitary, as the name says, right? It's a sanitary pad, so you expect it to really help the body.
Beginning,
Yeah,
right. You want it to be a clean, safe product
yeah,
from the beginning.
yeah, yeah.
And your the contents of the product, it's different. I would ask you, where were you 50 years ago?
Oh, geez. I get that a lot of time for ladies like yourself and everything. Yeah, in terms of that. All right, so let me,
Yes.
I'm not going to lift the thing, but I'm going to just put the napkin on it, right? And you might see it, some damps there, but the bottom line, it's not soap, right? Because I really filled the thing more than a little 250, right? You might see a little damp there,
Yeah.
right? But it's soaking wet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's the effect. I'll say this is just the ordinary moderate pad. And
Mm-hmm.
if you see there's dryness there, right? I put my hand on it. Look, it's not
Mm-hmm.
wet,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's not coming up wet. And
Yeah.
I can take it up and there's no water running off it, right? In terms of it too. See, it's
Mm-hmm.
not okay, and that's all the absorption goes to, and that's what we call the wet and dry, the simple one. There are more, but I'll just keep it simple for tonight. But the basic thing is that's where rain comes in to give you that comfort and dryness, and we add odorless to it. And I know about odor because I usually take out the garbage and wonder what that smell. I was doing a presentation similar like this, and it's a nurse who told me, Jerome, no matter how you tie it up in the bag and everything, the smell is still there, right? And that's what we said: comfort, dryness, and odorless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, that's amazing. I absolutely love that because a lot of women, are so much more intuitive with their bodies in this time and age that we're living in, and to have something that can help with less bacteria and odorless is absolutely phenomenal. And what I want to gauge or turn the focal point on is personal impact and wellness empowerment. You've witnessed firsthand how REIGN has supported women dealing with heavy cycles, discomfort, irritation. What shifts have you seen in the lives of women who switched to REIGN?
Wonderful question.
Okay. My dear friend Christine Stars, I hope she comes on. She told me, and she was a sailor too. And Christine, don't order no less than 15 of each selection at a time because you don't want to be out at sea without it. that Jerome, I used to curl up like in a fetus status at that time, right? And the shift is that she could talk about it. And I said she ordered that volume because she don't want to go a day without it. And she said she would never go back to the conventional one as long as she has to use them, right? And the shift too is where we're going globally because we have countries that the company is partnering with to get it in volume. Jamaica is one, Trinidad is on the book. I know Ghana is on the books too, a couple others, I will talk about that too. I actually focus on collaborating with nonprofits, like the one that Gillian is going to speak about in terms of my first opportunity to do that was with Jamaica, my homeland, through Miss Shelley Weeks. And she's the one who let me aware of the issue of end period poverty globally. Michelle Weeks is the founder and president of the Her Flow Foundation. And she goes around to school in Jamaica to educate not just the girls, but the boys to tell them what happened at that time of the month, right? Because if my memory serves me right, there is a young lady in, I think it was Kenya, who the teacher didn't know what to do, her peers, and they belittled her at that time of the month because it happened in the class. Unfortunately, the girl went home, went to the back of the house, and committed suicide. And that's how
Oh,
serious
wow.
this is.
Oh,
And this is how serious it is. This is why I said my passion has met its purpose. When I did it with Jamaica, with Miss Shelley and Weeks, which took me about 4 months before she said yes. I single-handedly did it. I did it with Bahamas through Mr. Christopher Roker in Atlanta, partnered with him during the flood period, and it was open company-wide. So from there born where the company has this pad drive link that, we give to nonprofits registered in the US to partner with, collaborate with, so we can run the pad drive. I actually have one running now with Miss Larissa Roan, who mentor young ladies who are sexually molested. Herself is a survivor from that from years
Mhm.
ago. So she mentored the young ladies in Jamaica. And this is the second time I'm running it with her because she said the young ladies love it in terms of it too. And even her associate in Jamaica have been clamoring for it, and it's really, again, thanking the Crump family for giving me this opportunity to have an instrument to work with, to take to them. Yeah. And part time, because I said I have my jobs to
Yes.
doing and all of that. Right now, where I'm at too, I'm being a caregiver, as they call it, Michelle, in terms of my brother and everything. So,
Correct.
yeah, yeah. So,
Um,
it's high opening. We haven't even scratched the scratches yet.
you
no,
know,
we
Let me put it
haven't.
that way.
no, no.
1 second. I was just going to say, you actually answered the next question that I had
Yeah.
when you went into the testimonies and, sharing the one about the suicide. That definitely
Powerful.
cut deep.
Yeah.
But before we move on, and I'm going to allow you to speak, Linda, and then move into the next transition, I wanted to highlight a very important statement from at Irie Ventures. It said, "Truel cycle, it is considered taboo, and this is the main contributor to the lack of education and poor hygiene." Absolutely. And
Mhm.
of course, we have Mrs. Aziza Gilbert. Hi, niece. She said, "Yes, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you, Aziza, for tuning in. Love you."
The irony
And
is, go ahead. I'm sorry. You have
oh
another comment.
no, the comments are coming in, so I just wanted to
Oh,
highlight them.
yes, yes.
Irie Ventures says, "As an entrepreneur that invented a product to combat a global issue as well, I am so thrilled to see this product. Kudos." on your entrepreneurial journey. And just to let you know, we do have Miss Jillian Murray that joined us backstage, and we will be bringing you on in a few minutes if you can hear us. Just wanted to allow Linda to finish speaking. And yes, thank you so much, Ari Ventures.
Let me just interject. It would be remiss of me if I don't have it here, but we do have the little thong, long thong, which is also a product like this, which is a liner. So we have the thong for ladies. Christmas is coming. They want to wear their white and everything. We do
Okay.
have the thong. Okay. So
No.
6 different thongs. Okay.
Hey, now, what you talking about now there, Jerome? All right now. Life skills have been taken out of schools, and the wonderful the responsibility of parents to share with their boys in particular. My daughter had a conversation with my grandson about this, and that she said, when you see that, you will see it. Guarantee you will, because that's the age where these things are happening. Quietly put your jacket around the girl's waist and tell her to go see the teacher.
Yes.
And help her emotionally. And we made a point of telling him that if the girl got on his nerves, she will never get on your nerves again when you help her through that kind of experience in a caring and kind way. It is our responsibility to care for one another. So that life skill being taken out of the schools, we have to do it. The community has to do it. Let's talk about empowerment, REIGN. REIGN isn't just a wellness tool, right? It's also a business opportunity. How does this movement empower individuals and families economically? Because REIGN is about something a little bit more than what you shared, right?
Okay, fine. Yeah, there is a opportunity side of it where the person has the choice whether they want to be what we call a team builder, like myself as a team member. I was forced to be a team builder because persons were clamoring to me, and there's a difference. Some companies will say sign up with them. I say enroll. Enroll is a different mean that you do your study, you look at just like your school. You look at the school you want to go to, and you enroll in the school. You go, the school don't call you and say, sign up with us, right? Mean that my goal is different from your goal. So I've ventured into that part of it where I've built a team of, distributors, team of partners, associate, REIGN ambassadors that work together on their goal, and the company give them a commission for each product or whatever level. And, we call them override. So there is that avenue of it. And mark you can outdo the person who actually introduced you to it, because you also have what we call wholesale distributors, mean that you just want to distribute the product. Yes, your company, you know, give you something for that too in terms of what you do there. So that business side of it there. We have persons who have actually been out there doing a lot of events. You always see them at the expos and all of that. They do this as part of their what you call business side of it, getting it out to pharmacies, stores. All of those things are allowed by the company. Yeah, you can have it on a storefront, um, persons possible see it on other sites and all of that too. These are persons who really focus on the business. I just focus on my passion, which is collaborating with nonprofits. Yeah, and I've actually donated so much, for those who actually need it, and I do my own in terms of make sure it is in other areas that it's not the company is not officially there, but the company we are responsible for that. As I spoke about Jamaica, it's not the company setting up there. It's a business person they're interested in it. The same for Trinidad is a business person interested in it, and the company give them the okay and tailor stuff. Ghana the same thing. So the business side of it, if they want to, that is on my website and everything, their presentation that they can look at if they're interested in growing it as that type of business.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Well,
the
if
company, the training is there too, where you go to these events and get the on-job training. So that's where the empowerment comes. Anytime I go to an event and I leave that event, I don't have hands to control the business, meaning that the law of attraction, there's people who, want to know more about it out of the woodworks. Yeah.
Mhm.
Talking about law of attraction too, even with the collaboration. Thank you for your program too and spreading it. I've
Yeah.
been getting some calls from nonprofits that want to partner with me in 2026,
Mhm.
based on the exposure you have given me in terms of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
persons who have known for 3 years ago have been looking at it and they finally call and say, hey, Jerry, they call me Jerry. Jerry, I need to move forward with this. No, I say, yeah, this is bigger than me and you. I don't have hands for it. But this is a movement of, again, I bring it back, end period poverty. And this, again, is what empowers me. Yes, the business is there. Persons can look at it. I will take the time to go through it with them. Yeah. But my goal is different, but I'll help you. And this is the way it is. We help each other to pull each other up. Yeah.
Well, if we look at how your journey, particularly bouncing back to your journey into this, um, your background, your discipline, and your background as a banker has helped you to um, uh, fine tune your approach to people on this. I'm thinking, does it give you a unique perspective on how REIGN can create financial stability and generational opportunity because of your banking background? Or
Yes,
is
yes,
there another?
because there are what we call certain commercial deals that can be done, and you do have what they call the residual income that you
Mm,
cannot stop coming from it. Okay, so once you do a commercial deal, being that that person buys a container load of that product, each time the person buys a container, that residual income is coming to you while you sleep. Yes.
so
So that
that's
a part
understanding.
of it, I see. This is why I continue too, because with my banking background, as you said, I can see that where that is going. Yeah. And
Mm,
that is one of my goals to really achieve those things. Yeah. And the residual income, and I can say it publicly, will be shared among my offspring.
mhm,
Yeah. And this is leaving a legacy for them. Yeah. And persons can look at it that way too. What you put in is what you get out, so to
mhm.
speak. Yeah.
It's
And
that,
you have to want it.
yeah.
You have to really want it. Nobody's gonna come at your house and say, "Come, Linda, you need to go. Come, come." No, no. You have to want it and go there and seek it from the company. As I said, I can pick up the phone, call Mr. Crump. If he missed the call, he call me back. He calls me Cannonball
Mhm.
because I'll be silently doing my stuff and move quickly about. And that's what happened. That's how I became an all-star REIGN ambassador in no time, because I just possibly skip over different levels to get there. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
An
So,
opportunity, an opportunity for generational wealth
right,
um, that people are often looking for and don't quite know
right,
where to start.
right,
You've given
right.
an opportunity that's quite different and in demand
Yes,
because of the product itself and what it
yes,
does for women. Yeah.
Right.
yes.
We have a guest.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
But
Queen Mother.
Hmm. Yes. If a woman listening right now is struggling with discomfort or health challenges during her cycle, what would you want her to know in particular? And I think you've shared some of it, but I kind of like when we reiterate how it can help our listeners.
Okay, fine. So for one, the comfort, yeah, in terms of not having that bulkiness, yeah, as I showed the neatness of it,
Hmm.
yeah. I've had persons, and as a customer, when I ask her, "Oh, you got your liner, which is this one?" She said, "Jerome, you wouldn't believe it. I had to go in the bathroom to see what if I have on something. I forgot I have it on." The
Hmm.
weight is comfort. Also, in terms of taking away from the irritation, all of that. If you want that to get rid of that, the wetness, you know, the dryness of this is there where it pulls away from the body. And so to mark you, without saying it to wear it more than the time period. Average time is 8 hours for most persons. The nurses and everything busy. Rest assured, they can have this on, and when they're not saving somebody's life, they can go and change it, right? Yeah, because I know they're dedicated in saving persons' lives. Yeah, and this is what it offers for these persons. Also, we recommend for children who are going into puberty,
Yes.
the mothers to let them wear the liners to get the comfort feeling of it. Associate of mine in Jamaica that gave it to her daughter, and her daughter, hello, she doesn't play with stuff that she has. She gave her to wear, and she came home and said, "Mom, I don't know what the others who already wearing these things were talking about. This thing is so comfortable at that tender age." So let them get accustomed to the feel of it. So it's not, as they call about the education of it. This is part of the education. Let them
Correct.
from 10, 9, 10 start to wear it. Yeah, even
Hmm.
though nothing has happened, they get used to the feel. So by that time, it's automatic for them.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And this would transition into what Jillian nonprofit is catch it from the root.
Correct.
So give them this to where you're catching it from the root, you're educating them from the root to let their mind and everything concentrate on what their studies, their dreams, their aspiration. Yeah. So anyone out there, and I'm not saying this is it. It's an option. It's up to you. We just want you to be aware that there's something to choose from. Yeah.
You've got a
And this
Affordable.
is just and
you've got
this is just a $6 product. Every one of them is $6 each.
Mhm.
Yeah. And again, I say with a young lady, a little with rain, a little go a far way. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Quality versus quantity.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Correct.
Hmm.
Always a positive. Linda, and thank you for sharing that, Jerome. And absolutely, we always believe in quality over quantity because, listen, sometimes the numbers don't mean anything, but the quality always shines through.
Bottom line.
Would you read the comment that Sean Bond
Yeah,
posted?
Shannon. Yeah, Sean Bond has indicated I've been researching Black-owned menstrual care companies since earlier this year, and I'm grateful to find another one. God really answered my prayers with this. Where have
Amen.
y'all been all my life?
Mm.
Wow,
And
Uh,
she's a
yes.
fairly young woman.
Yes. Okay.
that's
Okay.
awesome.
Good.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you. Thank you, Sharon Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Absolutely.
and when you're talking about period poverty, that's global because so
Yes.
many people are unaware of the options available to them.
Right.
Absolutely. So, as Linda indicated about it being global, and I'm glad you hinted to that, Linda, thank you. We're
Yeah.
talking about the global impact. And of course, we have an amazing guest that joined us with Jerome, and it is Miss Jill Ann Murray. Jerome, your work doesn't end locally, it extends internationally. You've been partnering with organizations serving underserved females in the Caribbean and even across Africa, including Ghana. And tonight, we have the honor of welcoming someone who has been on the ground doing this incredible work. We have Miss Jill Ann Murray, founder and president of Catch It from the Root. Catchitfromtheroot.org.
Right. Welcome. Thank you for welcoming me. Um, it's amazing to be a part of this. I'm a sole believer in each one, lead one. We all can, just come together and do like, a collaborator. I can't do it by myself. Um, I need everyone to come together and do it together. So, just to give you a little bit about my organization, it's a nonprofit organization. We're located in Fort Myers, Florida. That's where we started. But I went to Ghana, West Africa, where I was born in Kingston, Jamaica, from the same land where Jerome is from. So I went back to my roots, and you, okay. So I went back to my roots where Ghana is. I feel like if we need to fix anything, we have to start from the roots. And I believe anytime we're trying to fix home, you have to go back from foundation because that's where it all started. So I started with Catch It from the Roots. Of course, I wanted to do it in Jamaica, but I was like, in order to fix Jamaica, I have to start back home. You understand? So, Ghana is unfortunately where, my roots come from. So, I started out the organization when I got there. I partnered with Pad for Her Project. That's another nonprofit organization in Ghana. And they give out sanitary napkins. When they started, they just gave it out. Just, simple, whatever they have, they gave it out. But, me, I'm a female, I'm a mother. I was like, we're going to give this out with some styles, add a little napkin to it, add a little, note to it. We're females, and I wanted to do some, lessons, not just, when I was growing up, I wasn't taught about sanitary napkin. I just got my period. I know a lot of moms are like, it's the one potty or going to the bathroom, figure it out. So I didn't want that, I didn't want that experience. I wanted to, hey, here's the pad and, the wings, you have to teach about it. I feel like we have to open up. We have to get that soft part because some of the time the roughness doesn't take us far. You understand? So, what I did, unfortunately, the school that I went to was a school that I became a queen mom. Ghana has this thing where if you're developing a certain areas, they like to throw these rewards of becoming a queen mom. I'm not a fan of it, but unfortunately, because of the work that I'm doing, they gave me the queen mother. So I went to the school and I was teaching about, sanitary napkin, the pad, but also I wasn't just giving the word. I was having the young men, they were the ones that were getting the underwears, putting the pads on. So it came funny because these guys didn't know what to do. So all my team members, if you're a part of Catch It from the Roots, you had to get the underwear, you had to get the pads, and you had to put it on. And it made the young lady pay more attention. You understand? So they pay attention because these are guys that are doing it. So it was a laughing stock at first, like, ha ha ha. But they were responding in the way that I wanted them to. They were listening and they were saying, that's not how you do it. And but it was more touching to see guys getting involved and just hearing conversation with the young ladies like, would you rather 5 Ghana cedis or pads? And some of them would choose $5 over, $5 cedis over pads because they're like, oh, we can't afford it. So let's just not go to school for the 7 days. And one of my person that I partner with, he shared a story with me that young girls were just not going to school. And I'm like, what do you mean they're not going to school? He was like, the 7 days that they have their period, they stay home. I'm like, what do you mean they stayed home? And he's like, yeah, they just stay home. And I'm like, it's not something we choose, it comes, so why do they have to stay home? And it just made me really sad. And I was just like, nah, I got to do something about this. So I had a sister named Shauna. We were talking, we were doing fundraiser, we were going on TikTok. People like to, I don't like to do where you're showing stuff. That's a more private part, and we're human beings. We're women. We have so much to go through in life. So it was a little bit for me like, oh, I got girls. I don't want to be showing girls getting these stuff, but I have to do what I have to do in spite of how the media is built, in spite of how, everything is in this day in history. So unfortunately, my sister Shauna, we're back and forth because I'm in Ghana for 6 months and I'm spending a lot of money. It's not easy. It's like 13 CDs for one pack of pads, and I'm like, oh, we got to do better. And it's not like, this is something that we shouldn't have to go to a store. You're spending $400 on, 1,000 pads. And it's like, oh, come on, you're working just, to give your money to something that's natural. It's a natural thing. It's something we go through as women. So Shauna was like, she called me and she was like, girl, me get a link for it. Of course, I'm like, okay, what's the link? Because, I didn't want to hear. I'm like, are you going to get us some free pads? And she was like, no, let me tell you about this Jamaican man, Jerome. And that's how we started. And let me say something. I have to give praises where praises is needed to. You're dealing with a man, so you're like, I'm being honest with you. I'm like, okay, so this man, I go just, what is it? Commission. And I sound like,
Yeah,
wait,
what
man.
does he
But
know? Yeah.
Yeah,
right, like
right.
it's a man. So I'm like, But let me tell you something. From the day I got on the phone with Jerome, it felt like we knew each other. It felt like he was just like, first of all, he was just like, how much girls you have? And I'm like, here, I know. I don't know how much girls we have, you know? And he's like, I'm sending out these packages. And I'm like, I send out the packages to my girl, but wait, how come you not send nothing for me? You understand? So I told him, I have two young ladies. So I look in the mail. I didn't think nothing of it. We having conversation back and forth, and all of a sudden I get these pads. So me, I'm a lyrical. I like to laugh. I like to have fun. So I see the pads and I said to my daughter, "Oh, my pad them reach." So so I'm like, let me see if this thing live up to the meaning and all the madness that they're talking about. Because me, I'm gonna do a review and I'm gonna tell you like it is. So
Mhm.
I open up the pad and I'm like, okay, I'll test it out. And the funny thing is, the pod came right in time when you understand my
Wow.
time. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna feel it out. So Jerome said, did
That's
you receive?
alignment.
Yes.
Right.
So Jerome called and said, did you receive the pods for the girls? And I said, yeah, I'm gonna receive my pods them. So I focused and I was like, let me see, so I started and I opened up and I was like, mm, I'm used to using whatever. And I'm very funny. Like I've been like, pads are very uncomfortable for me. So I always use cotton pads. Myself and my sister Shauna, we always talk about going to the dollar store and using the cotton pads because those are good for us. When we use others, it's always irritating. So I put
Mhm.
on, the part and I'm giving you my honest opinion. I'm like, okay, I didn't even feel some of it on. Like, I forget my menstrual was there. You
Mhm.
understand? And, I watched it and I went and I later and I'm like, no man, I'm on pod. Like, you think in your head, like, do I have on a pod? And we'll go to the washroom and say, no man, never sit me, I live up to the means. You understand? Because I really didn't think, I put on pads and, it's uncomfortable, it slip off. I was like, oh no. You understand? So I told you, I said, I have to do a review. And I went and I even started pouring water on the pad. And when I said I had the pad on, and it was just no irritation. And I'm like, these are
Mhm.
too good to be true.
Right.
So, I had to, and I said to Jerome, I called him and I said, well, it does really work. I don't know what to tell you,
Yeah.
but they really work. And, he told me how we can go about it. And,
Mhm.
I have to say, when I spoke to the young ladies in Ghana, it was different for them, because some of them are not used to,
Mhm.
getting the pads. Like I said, you have to understand that Ghana is it's made up of different regions. Like we have six different regions. It's like, and you have some that are more cultural. So you have some that are even Jaru went there and they will send you in the outhouse for 7 days because they don't understand about period poverty. So us being over there, it was an impact. Being with the girls in the school, handing them it. It was just like the love that thank you. And I haven't heard anyone, they love it. They haven't complained of because a lot of I don't want to say this, but a lot of the pads that are over in Ghana right now, they're made fast, they're cheap, they're from the Chinese, and it's just, hey, grab it, go. but these pads really live up to the meaning. And, you know, Jerome, the first time we did it, I mean, like I said, he was involved more than me. You know, he was, I said, he called me at one point. I was just like, this man, you understand, him too committed, but it's someone where he made me like, had to check myself one point, like, no, so Jerome, I go feel like him, and I like I need to be a part of the Catch It from the Root team because, you know, he called, he posted, he, you know, went on live with us, and he was so into gauge with it. He wasn't just, you know, hey, I'm gonna sell you these. He's actually an ambassador, and you know, he calls and he checks up, and he, you know, when he sent me the first couple, it was just like, okay, you understand. But then he showed me how to order, and you know, at one point, I just, I had some issues in Ghana, and I was like, I'm taking a break. I'm taking a pause. You know, and I took a pause for a little bit. And here comes Jerome. Not. When are you ready to do the second fundraiser? And I'm like, you know, he pushed me to, you know, yes, he's like, you know, we have to end this. And, you know, the girls, they were so happy. They, you know, actually made him a video, and they were like, thank you, because it's a high school. Like I said, it's a high school where they live at the high school because, you know, they leave home, and it's different regions. So they may come from Accra, they may come from the Volta region, the OT region, and they're at the school. So some of them, you know, can't afford it. So I made it my mission to just, if it's 4 months out of the year, we raise, you know, if it's 1,000 pads, we're giving it. And unfortunately, REIGN came in second year. I just left Ghana, and I was going to do a program there. And I'm telling you, Jerome, at the time he just came in, we didn't know Jamaica was going to be affected, but, you know, we were like, okay, you know, he was running it. And I'm telling you, even with the bank situation, he had, you know, people from the bank, you know, hey, I'm running this for a nonprofit organization, and never a step. He always, you know, got involved. But just want to say this, you know, it's amazing to see how we are in the United States. We can easily go into any store and pick up pads, but these young ladies, some of them don't have that choice. They have to choose whether it's to eat, whether to buy a pad. And I feel like as a woman, that's something we shouldn't have to go without. You understand? It's something that, you know, and it's amazing what Jerome is doing, because we have to think about, you know, a lot of things being a woman, but that should be one thing we shouldn't have to worry about. And, you know, I talked to Jerome, I'm like, at one point, I feel like in every school, we should have pads for free everywhere. Like, we need to end it, and starting with REIGN. I feel like REIGN is going to be, you know, the top part where we end period poverty. These should be in schools. It should be in every restroom worldwide, because a woman shouldn't have to choose whether, you know, I have to stay home because, you know, it's something that comes with us. We're mothers, we're nurturers. If it wasn't, you know, for us, we wouldn't have these, you know, humans running around. So it's a part of our life. You understand? So I feel like when we talk about it, it's something we need to definitely look. And I love that. I respect Jerome to the fullest, because he's a man, but he's not just talking. You know, I could talk about it all day, but being about it and coming and showing, and not just selling the product, because anybody can sell anything. I can come on here and tell you that this is it, but actually being involved and actually putting the work out, like putting the, you know, and going and part. And he's a man. So, you know, it's like, okay, you know, what are you getting out of it? And he's not, you know, understand, he's getting it's a more deeper, you know, for him to help. Because when I say he helps a lot of young girls, it's trust me, when I go to the school, I know the pain, and, you know, I see it. And, you know, like I said, I'm a mother. So it's just a beautiful thing that he's doing.
A little birdie told me that you're expanding in 2026.
I'm expanded. Yes. Yes, I thank you for that.
Yes. Would you like to share what that expansion looks like? Because we already know that you serve underserved communities and across Ghana with education and advocacy and sustainable wellness programs. But we want to know we're right here at the ebb of 2026. Come on, tell us what's going on.
Well, expanding, we want to take it to another level. You
Yes.
understand, with REIGN sanitary pad. We want to myself. I just Jerome know this. I want to be on ground. I want to be the person that's on ground. I want to be the person that's, when you're doing work, you have to be hands on. So I want to, myself and Jerome have talked about this. Say, hey, Jerome, I would like to become a part where he's the ambassador, but we also like to be able to be in Ghana where, we can have a site where we're giving out these pads. I swear by these pads, and I don't swear by nothing, but these are something where you definitely want young ladies. They're having too many problems already with stomach problems. A lot of kids have, or stuff with their stomach. I don't know the name exactly, but a lot going on already. So these pads would, just reiterate, the way of them,
Yes.
being able to just be at ease. So what I would like to do is be on like a boots on the ground. You understand, where I'm there and we could be like more of like a vendor. It would be something that is there in Ghana. So that's what Jerome is telling us that the president eventually is going to be partnering with someone in Ghana. So we would like to be a part of that because, like I said, my mission is to end period poverty.
Well,
No one should have to go
there
through
are
this.
no mistakes. There are no mistakes. We are together. We're on this platform together. We're here on purpose. The divine placement of it all says it will work.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I believe it.
And I
Right,
see
interject.
Jerome
Okay.
had a question, but before you do, Jerome, just to say you said a mouthful, and thank you for sharing everything because you pretty much answered all the questions that we
Excellent.
have for you. And no,
Yeah.
that was beautiful because it just flowed naturally, and that's what we love. When you talked about expansion and setting up and being a vendor and elevating in my mind, and as Linda said, there are no mistakes, and utilizing this platform, infinite perspectives, because this is a platform where we say where voices become vision. So absolutely, your voice and your vision are going to mesh, and it's going to become reality, and that's what we're doing. We're manifesting that. So with that being said, we have an I call her an icon, Miss Boston here. If you Google her, she's an amazing person. So in my mind, because I'm also, a public relations specialist and
Yes.
strategist, I should
She's
say,
the GOAT. She's the real GOAT.
whatever. Thank you. But I would love for Rain and your company itself, to possibly partner with Linda, and we could discuss that, behind closed doors and actually get some things moving because this is a part of the mission where we are expanding. Also, we have, our woman empowerment group that we have sisters in Ghana. And that's something that we could all collaborate on because they're already
Right.
there. And, it's all about community and family. And, this is it touched something in me when you were speaking because it's everything that was very relatable. And when something resonates, you're like, wow, this is it. It's alignment. And I don't question when something aligns because I know it's coming from the divine. So, with that being said, I'm going to let Jerome come up. He had something to say.
Yeah,
Well,
it's actually keep it in line with what you're saying there in collaboration, and I'm helping Gillian here in terms of that too because we actually interact with another nonprofit that's in Ghana, right? Which showing interest in 2026 to really partner with her. Yes. So what happened is we were open to others like the other institution in Ghana to partners, nonprofits, to get it to the underserved young ladies in that volume, as she said, to get it on the ground. So boots on the ground. So there's no hesitation for it to be readily be there, to get it in the schools, for it to be available. Already, Rain in Atlanta, I forgot the name of the school, already is assigned to have a flow of this in the school. And
right.
there is a lot of passing in terms of requirement, in terms of having it free accessible in schools here in the US. State by state, it has been going. Also in the prisons, which I
Mm.
am on the ground to really explore that in my era to see how we can do it. Because getting back to Shelley and Weeks, because she's the one who, as I said, introduced me to end period poverty. Shelley and Weeks in Jamaica, Her Flow Foundation. She got some pads to give to the women's prison. When I call her, just like I call Gillian to say, hey, what did the ladies? She said, Jerry, I don't need any testimony from the ladies. These ladies were using tissue in the
Mhm.
prison.
Right.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
I've heard of stories where young ladies have been cutting up babies' pampers to use, old clothes to use. So you ladies know what's that like.
Mm.
You
Please.
understand? So I
Mm-hmm.
said, we haven't scratched the scratch as yet. Yeah.
No.
And I'm happy that Gillian is here to really share her hands-on point of it, not me just saying it as a man, but a woman who knows and understands a woman's body and how it works and seeing it for herself. Yeah. And
Absolutely.
that is where my passion has met its purpose.
Absolutely. And I love it because
We
your
talk
passion has met
further
its
about that.
purpose.
Yeah,
And
we can talk
Jillian
further.
is ready and equipped to catch it from the roots.
Right.
Mhm.
That's you
Mhm.
have to start it from the roots, and you have
Yes.
Yes.
to get the young men involved. And like I said, when they put those, you have to see it when they have those underwears up, and I have this slogan that I said, if you can take it off, you can pat her. You understand? So I get up with the young men, I'm like, you can take it off, right? They're like, yes, madam. I'm like, so you should be able to buy a pad for her and know what kind of pad your woman needs. So it's education both ways. You understand? I'm teaching them that, you may get a cranky woman and maybe she's cranky because of the pad. She didn't choose rain. So maybe you have
Exactly.
to, get her some good pads so you'll have a nicer, elective woman, and you won't, have an attitude for the whole 7 days. You'll
Yeah,
have a little
that's what
calmer.
love looks like.
Right. It's calmer because when you do wear the pad, it gets you a little calmer. When you have the other ones, it's like irritation. You're all over the place. You're like, oh, I hate this. But I have seen for myself, and I can say for my daughter, where, you wear it and it's just like, you're just regular. It's like, okay, regular. For me, I can say, it's just like, okay, it's a regular 7 days. When I have, sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't, you know, give me a little, cotton. It's like, you know, yeah, well, you notice it. It's like, oh, but with rain, you can definitely say like, okay, it's a normal day, it's a regular day, and you want to feel like that.
That's
Mhm.
beautiful. Thank you so much, Joanne, for coming on and sharing your testimony and just reiterating everything that Jerome has shared and has been preaching to me from a while back when we sat down at Dugan's
Yes,
eating some
please
hot
go
I
wings.
try
was
it,
in Atlanta.
please.
Yes, I remember that.
Right.
Okay, fine.
And
That's about 4 years ago, right?
more a little bit more than 4 years. I think
Four,
about
4 years, five,
five and
6,
change. Yeah.
5. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
everything just came back full circle and, everything in its timing. Everything has the
God's
proper
timing. God's timing. Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
And at this time, it's when things are aligning, and we know that if we work cohesively together, we can move mountains.
Mhm.
Right.
We,
I
we
believe
just need
that.
to ensure that we stay zealous in our walk and in our purpose, right?
Right.
So thank you again, Jillian, for coming on and supporting. And you're more than welcome to stay in the studio. It was an absolute
Thank you,
breath of
ladies. It's
fresh
a
air.
pleasure. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. I just want to say it's a pleasure to see, us coming together as one. It's hard enough. The world has created, disaster out there, but I really want to say thank you for allowing me to be on your platform. And I love to be around powerful women. You understand? So I see two amazing, powerful women. Jerome, I know
Oh,
you're a guy, you're already amazing. We
Yeah,
know
not me.
that, but I like to
If
give
I'm
my
surrounded by
roses.
the powerful woman, what else? Eh?
Right. But there's a saying that I say to my students, my girls, like give people their roses when they're alive. I don't want to
mm,
wait till you're dead and gone that
Mhm.
we are
amen.
just, saying, oh, this and this and that over your funeral. Doesn't mean anything. So while you're here, I appreciate what you're doing. And, each one, reach one, lead one. I could always learn. Jerome always, we teach each other. So I want to say to you, thank you, queens. You understand? I might be a queen mom, but you guys are the real queen. and the
It's
seasoned queen, because
reciprocated. It's
yes,
reciprocated,
right.
Queen.
Thank you, queens,
Thank
for allowing me on the platform, and I thank you and I respect what you guys are doing. And I wish anyone that's listening, please tune in and support. We need each other's support. We can only
Yes.
grow by supporting each other. We can't grow when we tear down each other. It takes a
Mm,
village. The African prophecy, it takes a village. And you
yes.
guys are the village. So thank you for allowing me on the platform. And just, that's all I got to say. Giving you your
no
roses.
worries.
Thank
And
you.
listen, like we discussed with Jerome, we will have you back to,
Back. Yes.
Thank
have
you.
you as the focal point. And of course, if Jerome wants to come on and give his testimony about your work, absolutely. Because, we had a little snippet of what you do, but we know there's so many layers to
Later.
this, and we definitely
Right.
want to be able to share it with the audience. So again, much gratitude for everything that you stated, and we concur. And
Thank you.
gratitude, Queen, and we will definitely be supporting you as well.
All
Yes.
right. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Happy
Absolutely.
listen.
Peace and
So
blessings to you.
yes,
Peace and blessing. Thank you.
no problem. So Jerome,
Yes.
you know, it's about community, cultural impact, love, abundance, and I'm just going to keep going. Cohesiveness, collaboration, alignment. We're just going to name it. It's awakening, understanding what your purpose is. Tell us, Jerome. You've always been so involved in community service, from being Justice of the Peace in Jamaica to your volunteer work in Hartford. How does REIGN align with your heart for community?
Hmm. Yes.
Okay. So, as I said, it's really, um, I see it as an empowerment for young ladies. And in terms of my service there, just like what's happening in Jamaica, I step up and donated to different organizations that are taking, these hygiene products to Jamaica. So that community, I've donated to the West Indies Club, who has been going there. Others, all the way to Florida. Mayor Denise Grant, I've sent her some, different organizations. So that way in terms of rain being that part of it, because I'm saying, let me get back in Jamaica when Father Holon, Missionaries of the Poor, he came to the church once and was appealing for donation of clothing. And he said from the pulpit, hey, I don't want the stuff that you're going to throw away to give to my people, the underserved. Go up to Fifth Avenue, Lee's Fifth Avenue, which is Michelle probably know Lee's Fifth Avenue of Tropical Plaza. Go
Mhm.
there and buy something and bring back and give to me to give to my people. If it's something that you wouldn't wear again, I don't need that. I need something that you value. And that is where I see rain. Yes. So that's why I try to give it when I can and afford to in terms of that. So that community involvement, I've been to the bank in terms of volunteer with the food share, and I see the quality of stuff persons are getting. Yeah. And that ties into what I'm doing. I said, hey, yeah, these are real good stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. And um, like I think where was I? And they said, "Oh yes, my cousin here in Maryland, and she's involved in her church." And I went and saw the food that she's giving out to persons,
Mm.
and we're there. And I said, "But these are quality stuff." And she said, "Yes, Jerome, this is what it's about. We're not gonna give somebody something that's gonna spoil tomorrow. Yes, we're gonna give them something that the date is like 3 months or whatever because they're gonna use it before the 3 months. Yeah. So that again resonate with what we're doing with Rain. Yeah, to give persons that quality, and I partner with that, and I get involved in terms of that. I'm even part of a community called the Diaper Bank. Yeah, which I donate to, which is out of Hartford, and and they call me in their meeting as a man. I go on the meeting and I'm the only male on the Zoom. Yeah. But I see and hear what they're doing. Yes. And to know that I'm not the only one, others like, me is out there, men as part of us, like Donnie who is on and others who are out there really empowering this. That gives me the confidence to know, hey, in Jamaica we say you have the backative. I do have the backative. Yeah, because Mr. Demon Crump, who took it to his family, he discovered it and took it to them, the ladies in his family, his wife and daughters, and he introduced it to them. Yeah. So that inspired me to say, hey, yeah, this is somebody you need to, you know, emulate in terms of doing what they do
Right.
to,
Yeah.
it's a follow the leader. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
in essence,
Uh,
does that mean that you believe communities of color are becoming more health conscious and demanding better
Correct.
options? Yeah.
Correct, correct. Because with even what we collect at the West Indies Club, we tell people do not let the expiry date on stuff pass, like the food stuff pass. I think it was March 26th or something like that. We don't want that. We are going to examine it and throw it away. You cannot send that to persons. Yeah.
Right.
These are persons who, for life happens. Yeah. And they deserve better. Yeah. And that's the mindset I have with these products. Right. And as I said, when I went to I stopped by the supermarket to pick up some stuff. And when I read the stuff, some of the chemical names, if you can pick up a pad and read those chemical names and research them, you see what's happening. And I don't hit out against others. I don't know about others. I know what we have.
Right.
Yeah. And that's the mindset. And as I said, we can offer it. Easy. It's delivered all over the US here. Persons can go to my website and order, and this is a $6 product. Each one
So
of them is $6 each.
for listeners who want to try REIGN for themselves and bring
Yes.
it into their households, where would they start?
Okay. So my primary website link to go to my primary website, I have it easily. It's CSEE best option.com. I was trying to go on to type in the comment, but it's asking me to open YouTube and everything. So it's
We have
CSEE.
it scrolling down below too. It's scrolling down
Oh, okay.
too.
Okay.
Yeah.
CBestoption.com. And
Mhm.
it's delivered wherever in the US.
Okay.
And if persons don't want to go online, they scroll down and they'll see the support number to call right there in Atlanta. Open 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. I ordered these to come here because I was traveling here on today's one. It's Wednesday. I ordered them on Monday and they came today. So they do have that option for persons to get it that quickly too. I mean, you pay a little extra, like $6 I paid extra for them to ship it quickly to here. So I have it to show, because I didn't want to travel with them. It's easier for me to just go up, get it here, So yes, it's easy. We do get outside of the US, persons in Jamaica have their overseas couriers that they order and use that address and get it in. I have customers from Jamaica who go online, get it, order it. So wherever in the world, and they have access like a courier from the US to get it to them. It's also the US based countries like the islands, Bahamas, and so on, Guam, whatever. The company does ship them to there too.
So is
Okay.
that the same link? Is that the same link for those who want to join the business model or build
Yes,
income?
they can go on it and say, yeah, yeah. So upfront, they're not going to see where it says enroll now. They can just scroll on business opportunity and it shows that we have a welcome video link that is there that tells them like teach from home, or learn from home. A welcome section that they go to. We always ask them to go there so they can form their own goals and see where the company can help them with that. We do have training calls that happen, on a Wednesday and so on, different Wednesdays. I think
Okay.
on the third Wednesday, and we have leadership calls that, we call it view from the top. We have a very motivational call, not really a business call. It's a coffee break call, which happens on a Friday morning where you can get up. We have calls that happens where you have a prayer call led by, an
That's
associate
good.
and his wife. We have a testimonial call where persons can go in, and listen to those testimonial calls to learn more. So we do have the resources to help persons
Right.
if they
Awesome.
intend to, right?
That's
Whichever way
good.
they want to go with it. Yeah.
That's awesome. I like the structure. I like that you guys have the support, you open with prayer and things of that nature. So we've talked a lot and it's so much information to impact. Um, we talked about the fundraisers, events, community initiatives, and how REIGN has played such an important role. What about the men? What advice do you have for men, partners, fathers, brothers who want to better support the women in their lives?
I remember I see a comment about taboo from someone there about, there's no
Correct.
taboo.
From Irie
Um,
Ventures.
right, Irish Ventures, yeah. And I said, going back to Jamaica, where I used to go to the supermarket and, purchase it and take it home, you know, um, you want to, and Julian spoke of it, you ladies are queen, and
Thank
justice
you.
for my jewel, yeah,
Mhm.
is part of what REIGN is about,
Yeah.
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 And we do have that in terms of you are the jewel, yeah, and you are the one who bring life. God ordained you to bring life forth, right? Mark, we want to know that yes, whatever is happening to our ladies is happening to us. Yes? Because once you're down, we're thinking, hey, what's happening? What can I do? Right? So once you tune into it, and there are many single fathers out there with girls, they would want to listen to this and know what's happening and why the young lady react how she react. You understand?
Absolutely.
So that is part of the key. And as I said, when we started out, us men dominated this industry through
Mhm.
REIGN. We
Mm.
were out there spreading it. The first time I went to do a presentation, I said, yes, you ladies are looking, I can see it on your face. You're questioning, what is this man doing talking about women stuff? I said, listen, I have to live with women too. So I need to
Yeah.
understand what's happening.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And understanding this too helps to empower the man and say, hey, yeah, just like they will talk about anything over a drink or two, you can say, hey, my lady is fine, man. I got her stuff for her. And let me say that too, the company, which a lot of people don't know about HSA, health savings account and FSA, whatever, you can
Mm.
use these to purchase these. Yeah, the company accept those cards too. Yeah, the HSA and so on. And so men who said, "Oh, I don't have this to do it." Once you have the HSA, you can use the HSA to purchase it.
Mm.
Yeah, and if you do purchase it, which I do, I refund myself from the HSA. You know,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. So that's a way of economically working it too, and my daughter don't have to take it
Very
out of her.
smart.
She used
Yeah.
the HSA. Yeah. So
Very
the
smart.
accessibility to a $6 product versus if you should have an issue, is not $6 going to cost you for the surgery. It's more than $6 for the surgery. So if
Right.
this can help, men, if this can help for you to have that, I would say, bare money in your pocket still, and not have to burden to get a surgery for your woman. This is a product that you need to have
To
in your
invest in.
household stock up. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Have it readily for her in the house. Yeah.
That's that's what love looks like when you
All right. Good.
collaborate with your
Amen.
family, your partner, your siblings. That's what it looks like. Jerome, your story has woven service, integrity, wellness, purpose, all of that. So before we close, what is one message you want to leave our listeners with tonight? What is
And
one?
before he And before he answers that, Linda, would you mind reading that comment from Doreen White,
Oh, yes,
9741?
yes, yes. Doreen said, excellent program to highlight the need for collaboration to help young women in need. Jerome, excellent promotion. The task ahead might seem daunting, but the end result will reign success.
Beautiful.
Yes. Thank you, Doreen.
Okay. Thank you, Doreen.
So
Yeah.
what message
Okay.
would you leave our listeners with tonight?
Okay. So, um, one of the things is that winners never quit and
Mm,
quitters never win.
mhm.
So if I quit when Wayne All introduced this to me and say, hey guy, I'm not going to do this, I wouldn't be here today. So what you have to do is look into yourself, meditate on it, pray about it. I already said to the Lord years ago, and each time I said, Lord, use me as how you see me fit. And sometimes I have to question when I involve in certain things. I said, Lord, why you use me? He's telling me, you asked me to use you. Yeah. So you have to really, own in yourself and see what is your inborn talent,
Yeah.
what is your gift, and own it and share it with others. Yes. And that would what I would encourage persons to do really to get. And really, as Julian said, is collaborating because we can't do it alone. Yeah. I said to myself, why reinvent the wheel? And there are many nonprofits out there already a medium to get it in
Mhm.
the far reach, undeserved, far reach young ladies. Yeah. And
Yes.
this is what I do. Yeah.
Mm, mhm.
And as I said, this is just a mission for me, in terms of doing what I'm doing.
I
Yeah.
love that. I
Mhm.
love that.
So,
I do too.
Jerome, thank you for sharing your heart, your journey, mission driving your purpose. And to our listeners, wellness is not optional, it's foundational. You can learn more about Jerome's work, the REIGN movement, and how to support or join the initiative through the links in our show notes. Stay curious, stay empowered, and always keep expanding your infinite perspectives toward a world with more dignity, access, and wellness for all.
And remember that health is freedom. And when we uplift the well being of our women, we don't just ease a cycle, we reshape generations. Because the moment knowledge meets
Mm,
wellness, transformation becomes unstoppable.
absolutely.
Ashe. Yeah.
Ashe. So it is, and so it shall be.
Yeah. Thank
So,
you, Joe.
Jerome, it's been a breath of fresh air being able to be educated on what it is that REIGN has to offer the masses. And, it definitely left something in my heart. And, we can talk more. We're working on some things, behind the scenes for you. And we could talk bigger things as well. So,
yes, yes,
I
sure.
think I think now I need to be your official PR. But
Yeah. I got ideas just a brewing. I can hear the stuff in my
no,
mind.
you
Oh
saw my
boy.
head, the wheels were turning. I was just like, ooh, that's
Yeah,
a good one.
that's good. Yeah.
I already see the whole kaleidoscope coming together.
And the education coming from a man is wonderful about a woman.
Exactly.
That's so
Exactly.
collaborative, so whole family, so beautiful. I appreciate you, Jerome.
Okay, so if I may share this last thing, which things popped up to me once you're tuning. It says, "Do not focus on going from 0 to 100. focus on going from 0 to 10, then from 10 to 20, then from 20 to 40, and so on until you reach and get to 100. Trust the process, enjoy the process. Step by step, you will be there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm,
We love that.
So I'm
Thank
just trusting the process.
that's
Okay. So
right.
I'm
Thank you.
ready. I will tell people I'm born ready, Michelle. Let's
All
go.
I
right.
already know. You already gave me the go ahead. You gave me the green light already. So
Uh,
it's not to put his business out there, but we're
Right,
cooking. Look,
yes,
that's a new
yes.
term, right? We're cooking. I don't
we're
know.
cooking.
I'm trying to stay with
It's
the
got
young
church
people.
sauce on it.
But I truly
Yeah,
appreciate it. It, like I
sure.
said, it's definitely been an amazing segment, and we hope that our viewers were able to take away something this evening and take it back to your loved ones and share. Because, of course, when we share, knowledge is power, and something of this level, which helps not only, antibacterial, but it helps, with different things. We're not going to state any claims, but you heard some of
Right,
the
right.
listen, the testimonies that came through, and
There's one more
hey,
down there too. There's a new one.
oh, wait a minute. Let's pop that up on here before we
Mm-hmm.
go. I don't want to leave anybody out.
Mm,
Leave your conversations open to get a revelation to change the situation. Absolutely. I
absolutely.
love that. Thank
Donnie, my brother Donnie, man. Yes.
Excellent.
Absolutely. And I know
Yes.
we had one before. I don't want to miss
Um,
Colleen. She gave a round of
Kudos.
applause.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you all. But again, thank you all for tuning in and, of course, coming onto our platform and supporting Jerome and, of course, supporting our initiative, which is to get the word out there. Our platform, our motto is where voices become vision. And, of course, REIGN is a voice. And the movement that it's currently doing, it is becoming a full vision. So let's expound on that. Let's elevate, grow together. And until next time, guys, this is Michelle Diamond, and of course, my amazing luminous partner.
In Boston.
Yes, and of course, our superstar ambassador, Mr. Jerome Chambers.
Chambers. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
thank you
we love
guys.
it.
Thank you
Thank
Thank
guys.
you
Good.
all.
Take care.
Until
Take
next
care.
time. See you next
Yes,
Wednesday.
yes. Sure. Take care.
Bye.
How you gonna change the things around you? Oh, what you gonna love inside of you? Oh, mhm. When you gonna hear his revelation?